Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a super weird and totally true story from a long time ago, back in 1876 in Kentucky, USA. It's called the Kentucky Meat Shower, and trust me, it's wild. Imagine looking up at the sky and seeing meat falling down like rain. Let's dive into this crazy tale, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you love strange stories. Here we go. A normal day turns nutty. Picture this. It's a sunny day in a small town called Olympia Springs in Kentucky. No clouds, no rain, just a bright blue sky. There's a lady named Mrs. Crouch, and she's on her porch making soap. Yep, back then, people made their own soap with stuff like fat and lye, kind of like a science experiment. Her husband is working in the fields, and their little grandson is playing nearby. Everything's calm and normal until it's not. Suddenly, plop! Something falls from the sky and lands on the ground. Mrs. Crouch looks over and sees a chunk of red, squishy stuff. What's that, she thinks. Then plop, plop, plop! More chunks fall. For a few minutes, pieces of meat are dropping all over her farm, like someone's throwing a barbecue from the clouds. Their pieces are small, about the size of a cookie, but one big piece is as big as a pancake. They're red, fresh, and scattered everywhere, over a space as big as a soccer field. Is this a gift from the sky? Mrs. Crouch calls her husband, and they're both like, "What in the world?" They think maybe it's a sign from above, like food from heaven. Their little grandson is super curious and pokes the meat with a stick. Soon, neighbors hear about it and come running. Everyone's staring at the ground covered with these weird meaty bits. It's like a meat party, but nobody knows where it came from. Now here's the funniest part. Some people were so curious, they tasted the meat. Two brave guys picked up pieces, sniffed them, and took a bite. One said, tastes like sheep. The other said, no way, it's more like deer. They didn't get sick, so it must have been okay. But can you imagine eating mystery meat from the sky? Yuck! The news spread fast. This wasn't just a small-town story. Oh no, it went viral. Well, as viral as things could get in 1876. Newspapers all over America, like the New York Times, wrote about the meat shower. Even a famous magazine called Scientific American talked about it. People everywhere were asking, is Kentucky's sky full of flying steaks? Someone even saved some of the meat in a jar, and today you can see it in a museum in Bath County. Cool, right? So, what was it? Scientists got curious and studied the meat. They had all sorts of ideas. One scientist said it might be a kind of slimy plant stuff called nostoc, but that didn't make sense because it wasn't raining that day. Others looked closely and said, this looks like animal meat. Maybe lungs or muscles. But how did it get up in the sky? The best guess? Vultures. Yep, those big birds that eat dead animals. Vultures have a funny habit. When they're scared or need to fly fast, they throw up their food. Gross, right? Scientists think a group of vultures was flying high above Mrs. Crouch's farm. Something spooked them, and they all barfed at once. The wind spread the chunks, and they fell like a meaty rain over the farm. It explains why there were bits of lungs, muscles, and other stuff, because that's what vultures eat. Why we love this story. The Kentucky meat shower is a super strange piece of history. It shows us that sometimes the world can surprise us with the weirdest things, like meat falling from the sky. It also reminds us to stay curious and keep asking questions, just like the scientists who figured out the vulture mystery. Next time you're outside, maybe look up, but if you see meat falling, grab an umbrella. Thanks for watching, everyone! If you love this wacky story, give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Tell us in the comments, would you taste mystery sky meat? Let's chat! See you next time for more fun stories! Bye!